At a certain point in woodworking, better work holding matters more than new tools. That's why I'm adding a sliding deadman and gap stop to my Roubo Workbench. I'll walk you through how I built each of these first, and then I'll show you why they make such a big difference in the shop. The first thing I'm going to do is cut a guide rail for the deadman to slide on. Doesn't need to be anything fancy, just a simple V shape to keep the deadman moving in a straight line. I added some countersunk holes so I can screw it into the long cross support on the bench. That way I can remove it in the future if need be too. I'm planning on putting a tool cabinet in the space under the bench at some point in the future. To produce the 45-degree V-cut on the bottom of the deadman, I used a 90-degree V-bit on my router table, making several very shallow passes at a time. I wasn't sure if the router would have the power to make the cut, and it would have been handy to have a shaper in the shop for this step. The router table ended up working fine though.
I think you're probably a little more happy if you're the Americans right now. They're not playing to the top of their game, but they are kind of controlling the opportunities.
With the help of my lovely assistant, I flipped the bench over so I could route a track underneath the bench top. The guide on the top of the deadman will ride in this track. I wanted this to be snug, but wasn't worried about it being perfect, so I just routed the groove by hand. All this has to do is keep the deadman moving straight with minimal slop. The track is going to be about 3/4 inches deeper than the height of the guide I'm cutting on top of the deadman. That will let me put the deadman in the track and leave enough space to clear the bottom guide rail. This lets me quickly remove the deadman if need be. I cut the guide rail a bit short of my line and then fine-tuned it with some hand tools. After a quick test fit, I'm happy with the result.
Thanks for working out. All part of the job. Earn unlimited sleep as part of the performance equation. It was physical recovery, especially as a mom.
I move on to cutting out my desired shape on the bandsaw. Again, nothing super fancy, just adding a curve on both sides to give it some character. This deadman is about 8 inches wide. I'm going to split it into thirds and add 2 rows of 3/4 inch dog holes that are offset by 1 inch. I picked up some 3/4 inch holdfasts to use along with the deadman. I like to use a brad point bit and drill out the holes until the tip is just sticking out the other side. Then I can flip over the board and use that as a guide to finish the hole. That eliminates tear out on the backside. After I add a small round over to the dog holes, sand, and finish, the sliding deadman is ready for use. I'm excited about the addition of this deadman to my shop. Used along with the leg vise on this bench, it makes working on larger or odd-shaped pieces a breeze. This has been a not-so-fun chore for me in the past. It will come in handy anytime I need to joint the edge of a board as well. And it's removable, so if I don't need it, I can just set it aside. I left a 3-inch space for the gap stop on this bench. I sandwiched a piece of maple in between 2 pieces of cherry and left it a little over 3 inches thick. That way I could creep up on a good fit on the bench. The center maple piece is only 2 inches deep because I'm going to add some through holes at a later step for tool storage. In retrospect, I wish I had made this 1 inch deep because it would have made cutting the through holes much easier. I also added a small chamfer to make it easier to install and remove. I want this gap stop to be flush with the bench when not in use, and then a 1/2 inch proud of the bench when I need it for a planing stop. To do that, I marked out a 1/2 inch deep pocket where both of the cross supports are underneath the bench and then use the bandsaw to create a ramp into the pocket. Now it can slide from being flush to a 1/2 inch proud easily. I put in a double wheel end vise that has a chain connecting the wheels. I had to remove a section so it didn't interfere with that vise. In order to have the gap stop second as tool storage, I added some through holes for chisels, saws, etc. This feature on my bench will come in handy when I need it to use as a quick plane stop, and I can see myself using it as a stop when I use my domino as well. It's easily removable, so if I need clamping across the middle of the bench, I can do that also. And when I'm working with hand tools, I now have a convenient place for storage. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, check out these other videos in the Roubo Workbench Build playlist.